let's go for a drive in Reggie, the Rover 75. Watching this video and you already own a Rover 75, or maybe you've previously owned a 75, whether it be the 1.8k series that we're in today, the 1.8 turbo, the 2 litre KV6 or the 2.5k V6, or maybe you've got that wonderful rare American sourced engine V8 MG-ZT. I can't speak for the ZT, but this 1.8 is just so smooth and so quiet on the road. Now of course the 75 was built with BMW money, and one of the things BMW insisted on was a double bulkhead. Not only does that improve safety, it also of course improves the sound deadening, and it really does work. They also insisted that the glass in Reggie, now bearing in mind I spent 29 years in automotive glass, I know a little tiny bit about automotive glass, hopefully, over all those years. Reggie's toughened glass on the side windows and the rear window is thicker than normal, again, just to improve the sound insulation. It's just so lovely and quiet in here. And then it's how the car drives on the road. The 75 is just a really comfortable place to be. It does a really good job of smoothing out, let's be honest, not the best roads in the world. We are known for quite a few potholes in this country, and it seems to do an absolutely splendid job at reducing the bumps. Plus of course I'm sitting on a lovely heated leather seat. It's just a really nice cabin to be sitting in. And it's a beautiful day, everyone. So I just thought it'd be worth having a little drive. Hope you enjoy it with me. If you want to see more content with the Rover 75, hit that subscribe button. It's absolutely free to do so. But you'll get to follow us as we live with Reggie, the Rover 75. Do we have any problems? How much money is it still costing? Just a general overall ownership experience. Just so quiet in here. I feel like I'm talking too loud, but with no microphone on today, you are a little further away from me, but hopefully you can hear me just fine. Now of course this is a manual, and I've probably said on previous videos that when the cars are bigger, I think they're more suited to automatic. The reality is I would have loved a 2 litre or 2.5 litre KV6 Rover 75 with an automatic gearbox. Absolutely love it. But when Reggie came up for sale, at the price that it was for sale, again that's discussed in this video, and the condition that Reggie appeared to be in, and thankfully we've proven is in, I couldn't turn it down. I am more than happy to be driving a 75 with the 1.8 litre 120 PS K series engine, mated to a rather smooth 5-speed gearbox. Now this is a particularly bumpy road. I don't know if it's coming up on camera. and of course the car is moving around on the bumps, but it's doing a really splendid job of keeping things nice and subtle in the cabin. Reggie needs to be driven quite a lot because the plan is to take him to quite a few shows, including the Pride of Longbridge. Never been to the Pride of Longbridge, looking forward to it. I know some other YouTubers that are going to be there. I'm expecting it to be a great day, and it's literally up the road from where the original Longbridge factory where Reggie was built used to exist. It's now unfortunately just a shopping complex. Barely recognisable, in fact obviously not recognisable at all from what I've seen on Google Street View at least. And as a Birmingham born and bred guy, that's a little bit disappointing to say the least. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Pride of Longbridge. But I need to be driving Reggie because although we've spent all that money getting Reggie really good, it's still suffering a little tiny bit of seepage of oil from the front leading edge of the head gasket. Now, I can't remember the make of head gaskets that the specialists have said will be fitted to this car, and was fitted around 2010, 2011. I'll put that in the bottom of the video now. What I am aware of is that that head gasket is known for weeping over time. So I've been asked to keep an eye on it, which is what of course we'll do. If at any point it looks like it's getting worse, or God forbid there's anything even attempting to mix with the water, then of course it'll mean another head gasket job. And again, there is a much better head gasket that everyone recommends for these, that once you fit, you kind of fit and forget. Can't remember the name of it again, but I'll put that in the bottom of the video now. We will end up having that done if that's the case. Yes, it's more expense, but yes, I'm willing to invest in keeping this 75 on the road. The interior in this car, if you've seen this video, you'll know, is all but immaculate. With the exception of an interior lamp, the rear interior lamp that was hanging down because it had been basically stuck back up with some double-sided sticky of some kind, double-sided pads. My wife Fran has since come up with her own glued on large paperclip fix, which has done the job really nicely. So now that that's fixed, this interior, I'm going to risk saying this interior is perfect, everyone. There isn't a mark on it. It's 21 years old. 21 years old, I think that's really good. And we're showing just under 57,000 miles on the clock. 3 previous owners, which is low. And it's still at the original selling dealer's number plate on the back, which although we've now changed because we wanted some really nice replica new ones, and they're absolutely lovely. Top marks to the guy that produces those. If anyone wants to know where we got them from, send me an email and I'll send you a link. Although we've fitted the new plates because I think it really does finish off the look of the car on the outside, of course I've kept the plates, the old plates, because they're part of the history of the car. I'm just going to say that sun's bright, but I guess that sun's always bright. It just depends where it is in the sky, doesn't it? At the time of filming this, oh here we go, we've got a tractor now, that's going to be interesting. Deep joy. You're doing a splendid job, mate. Let me go past. What was I saying? Yes, at the time of filming this, Reggie's had a second coat of polish. Now you might be thinking, well, that's a waste of time, you're just taking off the polish you put on before. Yes and no. When this 75 went into the specialist in Derby, we had it all wax-oiled underneath because again we want to preserve the life of the car, of course, and it's in such good condition underneath. No welding whatsoever, or no previous welding whatsoever. It's so solid, we thought we'd try and keep it that way. So we had it all wax oiled. But of course the problem with the wax oil was, as they've been going down the sides of the car underneath, it's been misting up the side. By the time I picked up the car and got it home, I quickly realised that there was a lot of dried on wax oil on the lower panels, lower parts of the panels at the side of the car. But then I love polishing cars, don't I? So I just armed myself with a lot of clean rags and slowly worked my way through it. I think the paintwork, I think the copper leaf red on this Rover 75 looks absolutely beautiful now. I'll put a little clip in the video, you can decide for yourself. It's a very rewarding colour for anyone that loves polishing cars, and that's definitely me. I should be sponsored by Autoglim, the amount of money I spend with them. And there's a thought, Autoglim. What do you use to polish your cars? Let me know in the comments below, everyone. Is it an age thing that I use Autoglim, or is it just because it really is a quality product? Could be a bit of both. I just love Autoglim, used them for years. I think this car has got such a wonderful shine now. A little bit of hard work. But then if you think about it, the wax oil we've had done underneath and the polish that keeps going on the paintwork outside, it's not going to have to work that hard, is it? Because the plan is to not use the car when it's wet and it lives inside a garage, a well ventilated garage. So theoretically it's got every chance of outliving me. Perish the fools. No, I'm very happy if Reggie outlives me. It just means that the kids have got to decide who they're going to sell it to get a bit of money back. Maybe Reggie will be worth more money by then. Not that I purchased Reggie from an investment point of view, but obviously I've been more than happy for the kids to get more money back than what we paid into it. Why is it with cyclists, and this is not a criticism to cyclists, they're allowed on the road as much as anybody else, but I only seem to come across cyclists when you're near a bend. Anyway, we'll give them plenty of room, or as much room as this narrow lane will allow. So hopefully, if you're still watching this video, and thank you if you are, you're thinking, yeah, the car's really quiet, even with this brummy voice taking over most of the time. What I can't do on camera is properly impress upon you just how smooth it is where I'm sitting. You just have to take my word for it. Well, this 75 has got a clean MOT now. 12 months ticket, as we used to say in the UK, which is really cool. Fully serviced. Driving lovely. It's had so many things done to it. Worth every penny. You know, as we drive through yet another village in Derbyshire, I think it's time to say thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked coming on the drive with me in this Rover 75 named Reggie. Why don't you follow Project Reggie? The hashtag Project Reggie is on Twitter and underneath this video. Follow us on the journey and with the other cars. In fact, there's yet another car coming to the channel, but more news about that obviously in a future video. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care, enjoy whatever it is you're driving, and I'll see you on the next one.